In November 1975, Morocco stunned the world with a peaceful, patriotic movement, the Green March. More than 350,000 Moroccans, unarmed and united, crossed into the Western Sahara to reclaim territory that Spain was about to abandon. It was a moment of national pride and solidarity. But while Moroccans celebrated, a silent storm was brewing across the border. Just days after the Green March, the Algerian government, under the rule of President Houari Boumediene, initiated an action so brutal and unexpected that it would forever scar thousands of lives. On Eid al-Adha, one of the holiest and most joyful days in Islam, Algeria launched what would later be remembered as the Black March, al-Masira as-Sauda. This was not a military operation, nor a political protest. It was the mass expulsion of Moroccan civilians. Tens of thousands, and according to some estimates, up to 300,000 Moroccans, were forcibly removed from Algeria. These were not foreign invaders. These were workers, merchants, farmers, and entire families who had lived in Algeria peacefully for decades. Many had contributed to Algerian independence. Some had married Algerians and raised children on Algerian soil. Others had fled the harsh French colonial system before 1962 and settled in Algeria, hoping for a better life. That hope ended in heartbreak. With almost no warning, Algerian security forces and police went door to door. Families were dragged from their homes. Some were arrested. Others were packed into buses and trucks and driven toward the Moroccan border, often through harsh weather and unpaved roads. They were allowed to take nothing, not even their savings, not their furniture, not even their family photos. On that sacred holiday, Eid al-Adha, children cried as they were pulled away from the only homes they had ever known. Fathers were separated from sons. Wives lost their husbands. Thousands of people were forced to walk into an uncertain future, leaving behind their entire lives. Some had their Algerian identity papers confiscated and were told they had no right to return. Mixed families, where one spouse was Algerian and the other Moroccan, were torn apart. In many cases, women had to choose between staying with their children or their husband. Some never saw each other again. The operation had no legal framework, no international oversight, and no justification, other than political revenge. Algeria had opposed Morocco's claim to Western Sahara and supported the newly formed Polisario Front, a separatist movement. And so, as Morocco celebrated a peaceful national achievement, Algeria retaliated, not on the battlefield, but against innocent civilians. International organizations like the United Nations, Red Cross, and Amnesty International were slow to respond, and in many cases remained silent. The story was barely covered in Western media. There were no sanctions, no resolutions, no investigations. For the victims, justice never came. To this day, no Algerian government has issued an apology. No reparations were made, and no Truth Commission has addressed this act of collective punishment. The Black March remains one of the most underreported and painful episodes in North African history. A moment when geopolitics crushed humanity, and when the hopes and lives of thousands were shattered just because of their identity. But we remember. We tell their stories. We honor their pain. And we demand that the world never forget what happened in 1975. Because history is not only about wars and leaders, it's also about the voices of those who suffered in silence.